Peace, love, and life, fam. How y'all feeling? Happy Monday, happy Moon Day. I pray that you all are feeling amazing, in good spirits, and you are having an amazing start to your week. All right, so let's get into it. Now, you guys, right now, what I'm getting for you guys could be going through like a major shift or a major transformation in regards to your your purpose, your destiny, your soul purpose or your soul mission. You guys could feel like you're stuck, you could feel like you're trapped, you could feel like, you could you know be in a situation in your life where you know that you're meant or destined for more. You're meant to experience more. You're meant to explore more. You're meant to go towards more. But for whatever reason, it could be financial reasons, it could be family obligations, it could be career obligations, it could even be health obligations that could be keeping you stuck. It could just be simply fear. It could be fear of change. It could be fear of the unknown that's keeping you stuck in this karmic cycle. So let's just say, for example, let's just say that you went to school to be a doctor, right? And the only reason why you went to school to be a doctor is because your family paid for your college. So let's just say you went to school to be a doctor, but what you really wanted to do was go to school to be in art. You wanted to be a dancer. But your family was like, no, I'm not paying for you to go to school to be a dancer or to be, an actor or whatever. I'm gonna pay for you to go to school to be a doctor, or I'm gonna go to school to, I'm gonna pay for you to go to school to be a lawyer. So even though you really wanted to be a dancer, you had to go to school to be a doctor. So now that you fulfilled that obligation, you chose that path that made your family happy. You know, now you're like, okay, I'm a doctor, but that's not what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to do this over here. I really wanted to do that over here. Or let's just say you're married and you feel like you're in a marriage that you don't want to be in. Maybe you got married because you got pregnant and you didn't want to be a single parent. You didn't want your kids to grow up in a single household. But now your kids are grown or your kids are almost grown, and you probably say, well, I never really wanted to be married. I just wanted to be single. Or let's just say you're stuck in a town that that you've outgrown, or you're in a friend group or a community that you've outgrown, but for whatever reason you feel trapped and you feel stuck because of financial reasons, family obligations, fear of letting someone down, your spouse, your children, your siblings, your parents, fear of change, just fear of change. So here you are stuck in a situation and you don't know what to do, how to do it. Now, when it comes to now, okay, I'm sorry if I didn't show you guys this card. Some of you guys could be water risings. So you could have a water, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces rising. So that might resonate for some. Some of you guys can be an Aquarius, but you could be an Aquarius that is on your low vibration. You could be like a low vibrational, or I wouldn't even say a low vibration. You could be like the lower octave of that energy. And one of the lessons of Aquarius energy, Aquarius people, they need to do shit the way that, they go against the grain. They are they are innovators, they are truth seekers, they are freedom seekers. So your soul, so if you are an Aquarius, or if you have heavy Aquarius placements like I do, you can be someone that want to go towards, your soul's path, your true soul path, but for whatever reason, you feel like you can't go towards your soul path at this time because you feel stuck. You feel trapped. Again, you could be somebody like you could be a single mom, or you can have a career, you can have certain obligations. You might want to be somebody, you might be somebody that wants to travel the world. But again, there are obligations that are restricting you from living the life that your soul desires. Now, when it comes to your north node and your south node, there are a few things that I want to explain to you about your north node and your south node. Now, for the people that resonate with Vedic astrology, sidereal astrology, it's also known as Rahu Ketu. All right, excuse me for 1 second. Any which ways, your north node and your south node, they're not necessarily planets, but they're mathematical points. I'm not going to get too deep into that because that'll be a whole nother video for a whole nother day, and I will do another video on that, by the way. But your north node and your south node will always be in a sign that is in opposition. So for example, my north node is in Scorpio, and my salt, I'm sorry, my salt. I'm so country. My south node is in Taurus. Or you can have a north node Taurus, south node Scorpio. Another example can be Leo north node. So if you have a Leo north node or Rahu, your south node would be in Aquarius. So that might resonate for some, or vice versa. North node Aquarius, south node Leo. Okay. Also, another thing that you need to understand about the north node and the south node is that your when you have a progressive transit, such as your solar return, your Jupiter return, and your Saturn return. Most of us know about our Saturn return. The most common one, of course, is your solar return. That's your birthday, right? Every time you have a progressive transit like those, that simply means that the planet, that's the that planet matures, that planet progresses, that planet evolves, right? But with the north node and the south node, that planet or points, they don't progress, they regress, they are always retrograding. So that's another thing you need to know about your north node and your south node. Your north node and your south node is always retrograding. Okay, another thing that you need to know about your north node and your south node, this transit happens every 18 and a half years. Your birthday or your solar return happens every year. Your Jupiter return happens every 12 and a half years. Your Saturn return every 30 years, etc., etc., etc. But your Rahu and your Ketu, North Node, South Node transit happens every 18 and a half years. And it's always going to be retrograde. Okay? So just wanted to, put that out there so you guys can understand what it means to have your north node and your south node. Now, another thing that you need to know about your north node and your south node is karma. Your north node is dharma. Let me repeat that. Your south node is dharma and your north node is karma. Your south node is what you bring in, it's the karmic themes that you bring in from a previous life or previous lives. This is what you're comfortable with. This is what what you're familiar with. This is what your soul needs to evolve or move away from, so your soul can go towards your north node. Your north node is the dharma, is the point of destiny that your soul needs to go towards. Okay, so I'm gonna use me for example again. My south node is in Taurus and my north node is in Scorpio. So that simply means that I have to learn how to move away from earthly and material possessions and move and move more towards spiritual spirituality. And it's in my first house. It's in my first house, and the axis is in the seventh house. So I have had a lot of karmic themes come through in this lifetime in regards to relationships. I've been that person that have had a lot of karmic partners, of attracted karmic partners, karmic relationships. And because I have my North Node in my Scorpio North Node in my first house, that simply means that I had to learn the lesson of self love and boundaries so that I can transmute that energy and move into my soul purpose, which is to be a healer and a teacher. Now, does that mean that I will never have a relationship? No, that doesn't mean that. Of course, I will have a relationship if that's what I want, if that's what I choose. But my most important lesson in this lifetime is self-love and boundaries. Because in the past life, I've already mastered the lessons of relationships. Y'all get where I'm going with this. I'm not trying to make it about me, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example of what your North Node is and what your South Node is. Typically, we go towards our North Node later on in life. Late 30s, early 40s is around the time when you typically are supposed to go into your North Node. Now, what I'm, and the reason why I'm saying all of that, a lot of you guys could be struggling right now to move from your South Node and move into your North Node. Okay? Some of you guys can have something going on with your third house as well. Your third house is linked to Mercury and Gemini. That's your communication, what you think, what you speak. All right. Mercury rules the conscious mind. It rules your neighborhoods. It rules your siblings. It rules short trips. It rules personal technology. All right. It rules. I said siblings already, right? Okay. So that can be something that could be highlighted it for some people during this time. So you could either be having a transit. Rahu K2 transit could be triggering something around your third house during this time, or you can be going through that South Node, North Node progression right now. All right, take what fits. And if you don't know anything, if you don't know your natal chart, this is why it's important for us to learn our natal chart and know our natal chart. So when these themes come up and these themes are triggered, we are aware and we know how to do the work that needs to be done. I hope I'm making sense, you guys. Y'all talk to me. Somebody talk to me. But if you are resonating with this message so far, this could mean that there is a part of your soul that is longing to go towards something else. But for whatever reason, you feel like you can't. And you feel like you can't because you're stuck. You're stuck because of obligations, because of fear. You've been struggling to find balance, how to balance that. How do I balance with, going towards my soul purpose and, working, doing this, going to school, family, friends, whatever, whatever, whatever. But let me tell you this, you I'm not going to say you have to, because at the end of the day we have free will, but in order for you to get the most out of this life, it is strongly suggested that you don't fight against your soul purpose and your soul's destiny. In order for you to get everything out of this life and to move into your true path, to move into dharma, to move to your true destiny, you have to release those karmic themes that are surrounded around the South Node. and start to embrace those things that are surrounded with the North Node. You guys follow me? You guys still with me? I hope I ain't lost nobody. Now, with this water rising right here, you guys, this tells me that you guys are natural empaths, natural healers. All right. Like me, for example, I have Scorpio North Node in my first house. So it is destined for me. It's destined for my soul to go towards being showing people how to transmute darkness and heal it. That's what Scorpio energy rules. Scorpio energy rules transformation, power, control. I probably, in my past life, I probably always gave my power away when I was in relationships. So in this lifetime, I need to learn how to take my power, empower myself, transmute pain, transmute that karmic theme that I brought in from my past lifetime and heal it. And not only do that for myself, show others how to do that. Now that's just an example. There's so many, so many examples of the North Node and the South Node. Now let me share this with you guys too. I don't know why this is coming to me, but I thought about this movie that I'm a big kid at heart, so y'all bear with me. But do you guys remember the movie Rapunzel? And the movie Rapunzel, what was it called? Tangled, right? The movie Tangled. So in Tangled, Rapunzel, she was a princess and she didn't even know it. She was destined to be a princess. Not only was she destined to be a princess, she was destined to rule one of the most powerful kingdoms of that time. But she didn't know it because she grew up in a tower. She was trapped in a tower. And the reason why she was trapped in that tower was because of that witch. The witch kidnapped her when she was a child. And the witch held her there against her will so that she could cipher her energy. She ciphered her energy because she had a special gift in her hair. Her hair had healing magical abilities that kept that witch young. But the witch was so, insidious and so selfish, she kept her trapped in that tower. But the whole time the witch kept her trapped in that tower, she always knew within her soul that there was more out there and that she was destined for something bigger and greater. But the witch fed her with all these lies, telling her it's all kind of bullshit out there. Da, 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 if you leave, this will happen, that'll happen. Kept the girl there in fear. And it took for somebody, that guy, I forgot Flynn, that was his name, Flynn, that came and rescued her and took her and brought her to her purpose, her destiny, right? Took her to but he didn't even know. He didn't even know that she was, a princess, or that she was the heir to a kingdom. He was a thief. He was just running away, trying to get away from the people that was trying to capture him. But saying all that to say, he brought her towards her path. He brought her towards her destiny, which was to reunite with her family and become an heir to her throne. That was her birthright. You feel me? And for some of you guys, this is the energy that you guys are in. You guys are trapped in situations, circumstances, obligations for whatever reasons. You probably did what you had to do. But now you're at that point because your soul is evolving. You always knew that you were destined for something bigger. You were destined for something greater. But here you are, a single parent. Here you are stuck in a career, but you can't just walk away from that career because you didn't spend $200,000 on that degree. Or you're stuck in a marriage when you really didn't want to be married. You probably wanted to be single. It probably, was frowned upon to be, a single parent where you're from or the family that you come from. You're probably stuck in a religion or a tradition that is not aligning with your soul path. You probably grew up Christian, but your soul is calling you to go towards ATR, to initiate. You could be stuck in a town or city, state or country that you outgrown. You probably want to travel the world. You probably got a little touch of wanderlust. You probably want to move to another state. You probably want to even move to another country. But there is some obligations, fears, that are holding you back. And this is where the frustration is coming in at. Your family, your friends, whoever you're surrounded by, they know that you have something special in you. They know that you have a gift. Just like that witch knew Rapunzel had that special gift to heal. They know that you have greatness in you. They know that you have a significant gift in you. So if you're surrounded, like if this could be your spouse, this could be your siblings, this could be your family, your parents. They could even be holding you back. They know that you're destined for greatness. They know that you're destined for more, but for their own selfish reasons, they don't want to support you. They don't want to have your back. You probably go to them and talk to them and communicate with them about your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and they're like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't do that because, or you shouldn't do that because, blah 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 blah." They telling you all of the negative shit that can happen if you go towards that. If you start traveling the world, it's so much going on in the world right now. Why you want to travel the world? Why you want to move to that city? Why you want to move to that state? Why you want to move to that country? So they keep you stuck there. They keep you trapped there so that they can continue to use you and cipher your energy. Come on now. Y'all know, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of us have toxic family members. Some of us have toxic spouses that we're with, that we know we're not supposed to be with, but we're there for whatever reason. So you sacrifice your happiness for the sake of others, to please others. You stay stuck and you stay trapped. So the message for you today is that you need to break free. Break free from fear. Break free from the norm. The Aquarius card is here. It's in reverse. But just because it's in reverse doesn't mean that it has to stay there. Aquarius people, true Aquarius people, true Aquarius energy, even if you are not an Aquarius, even if you don't have a stitch of Aquarius in your chart, it don't even matter. You could be having a Uranus transit or some type of transit to your 11th house, because Aquarius rules the 11th house. You could be triggered to break free from something that is no longer serving you so that you can go towards your true destiny and your soul path. You have to go within, you have to do the work, you have to trust yourself and know that this is your birthright. You cannot no longer. So if this is coming across your feed, your live, if you come across this video, it was meant for you to hear this, because it's time for you to go within and do the work. Tap into your solar plexus right now. Tap into your solar plexus, because that's where your willpower is. Your willpower is in your solar plexus. So some of you guys can have a blocked solar plexus. I'm seeing a lot of orange and gold, colors of orange and gold. And the color orange represents the solar plexus. So, you guys need to do exercises to help you unblock your solar plexus, because again, that's where your willpower is. But it's time for you to break free. It's time for you to set yourself free. It's time for you to set those goals. It's time for you to set those boundaries, because at the end of the day, this life is about you. It ain't about nobody else but you. Now, I'm not saying hurt nobody. I'm not saying go out there and do no dumb shit or no bullshit to hurt anyone. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying, like if you're somebody that's married and you got a spouse, I'm not saying go and divorce your spouse to make your life, to live your life, to live your dreams. No, that's not what I'm saying. By all means, please don't do anything that will, you got to think, you got to come up with a plan. You got to think, don't do anything to hurt your spouse, your children, your family. But you have to figure out how to find the balance. How do I balance this? How do, if you got a good partner, you got a good spouse, talk to them, communicate with them, let them know this is how you're feeling and this is what you want, and see if that person is in alignment with that. You may have outgrown your partner. You may not have outgrown your partner. Maybe you don't know how to communicate this to your partner or your family or your siblings because you don't want to come off as being selfish. But regardless of where you fit in with this, you have to put up strong boundaries, because what's happening is a lot of these people are filling your head with negativity because they benefit off of you. They benefit off of your greatness. They benefit off of your success. And so if you leave or if you go towards something else, they don't get to benefit off of you anymore. Okay? So you have to go within and do the work so you can learn your worth and know that what you're feeling, what you're feeling, you need to fulfill that, because you will never be truly happy and you will never be fulfilled if you do not go towards your North Node. All right. So I am going to leave it here. This is all the messages that I have. Aquarius, again, Aquarius, truth seeker. You are a truth seeker, and you are somebody that wants to go towards freedom, but you're blocked. I'm gonna leave it here, y'all. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna let it go. I love you guys. I hope it resonated. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If it resonated, let me know. Ashe, ashe. I send you all so much blessings, love, and light. All right. And until next time, love you. Bye.